They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa! Why is there only one of them?
Rahman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise on my part. Don't you think you've asked enough?
You stay right there!
Playmate! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Paimon's dizzy.
This day's going just great.
What a nuisance.
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body. The Dendro Archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa? Oh no. He's getting confused again.
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to King Deshret's civilization. This structure must be ancient. Over time, the sandstorms completely buried it and left it in the state we see now. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise King Deshret!
What's he doing here? And his men too?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if you ask me. Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got off lightly.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his sacred palace.
He's not actually gonna go in there, is he?
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of King Deshret's civilization appear. 2 major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in gods.
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being. Or creature, you could say. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. King Deshret will take care of his people. Right now, I'm going inside.
Wait. What's that?
A load of flowers. And it looks like there's something among them.
These are King Deshret runes.
They left something behind. Yes. It's an elegy written in an ancient script.
What does it say?
Here lies our faithful priest Kasala. His wisdom is a miracle among the people, deserving of high praise and admiration.
You can read ancient King Deshret script?
Of course. Every student needs to master at least 20 languages before they graduate.
He's not serious, right?
There's still something off about this place. The elemental energy here is too concentrated. The scent of life. Is it trying to tell us something?
Is this it?
Analyzing.
There seems to be a hidden message among these skeletal remains. Excellent. There's a device from King Deshret's civilization in this gravesite. I'll transmit the information over and project it for everyone to see.
Isn't sharing knowledge against the Academia's rules?
Yes. However, under the circumstances, I'd prefer you to see this for yourself. You'll understand after watching it.
Civilization is born of knowledge, but so too can knowledge be its demise. A disaster caught us unaware. It was knowledge that did not belong to this world. King Deshret brought this forbidden knowledge into our world, and it quickly spread like a plague. People's minds were filled with crazed whispers. Dark gray scales spread across their bodies. Even the land was stripped of its vigor. Only a desperate, deathly silence remained. Were it not for greater Lord Rukkhadevata from the forests, the damage would have been irreversible. She summoned the priests to build temples and infused into them the divine power of life. The disaster was miraculously tempered, and the embers of our civilization were preserved in Aru village. Alas, the miracle could not last. As long as forbidden knowledge continued to exist, it would forever blight this world. In the end, the proud king of the desert, my eternal lord, chose to sacrifice himself. I have spent my whole life since guarding one of these many temples. But now, my duty is coming to an end. As I close my eyes for the final time, the sight of that noble deity will appear in my vision once more. In helping King Deshret to eradicate forbidden knowledge, she exhausted her strength, and her form became that of a small child. How strange. Now that I think of her, I no longer have any fear of death, for I sense that the spirit of life will abide with me during my eternal sleep. Children of the desert, cling no longer to past grievances, but hold tight to the memory of this act of benevolence.
What was that?
The priest's memories.
No. No, impossible.
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So the former Dendro Archon and King Deshret were never enemies at all.
But this doesn't make any sense. The Dendro Archon's followers, they're clearly...
Was that the former Dendro Archon? She became so tiny in the end.
You might be distrustful of the Akasha, but there's no reason for you to doubt King Deshret's technology. You've just witnessed his priest's last words.
I've never heard about any of this before. The surviving followers of King Deshret all gathered in Aru village. Our god did not make mistakes. We refused to believe any of the rumors. King Deshret's death, the all but total annihilation of our civilization, it was all Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's doing. We saw her as nothing more than a traitor, who stabbed us in the back in our moment of crisis. Just like us humans, fighting, feuding, double-crossing each other to survive in the desert.
You were blinded by your prejudice.
If I hadn't seen this for myself, if I hadn't witnessed his last words with my own eyes, ears, and heart, how could I ever begin to accept this? The truth is so far from what I've always known. Am I really supposed to believe that after all these years, all this time seeking revenge, suddenly now my enemy is my savior?
Raman, that's enough. Give it a rest. You're starting to make a fool of yourself.
Dia, tell me, my Eremites and I, what are we even fighting for?
Hey, how you doing?
I'll live. Thanks. I should probably go. Can't just stay here forever.
What's your next move gonna be?
Oh, I know what you're going to ask. I feel deeply ashamed of everything I've done. You'll get everything you're asking for. But please, give me some time. After everything that's happened here today, somehow I need to explain it to the others.
It's not gonna be easy.
Well, I guess that's for me to deal with. Dia, this is where our camp's located. Make a note of it.
When would be a good time for us to go?
Tomorrow, I'll convince everyone that we're all on the same side. And I'll return every last one of your your village keepers. We'll share our other resources with you too.
You seem to finally understand that our true enemy is the sages.
Yes. The gods never gave up on anyone. It's the people responsible for all this that need to face the consequences of their actions.
That must have been rough, but he seems to have figured things out now.
Raman's no fool. Being the leader of your own faction in the desert is no easy feat.
It's too bad he was held back by his belief in King Deshret. But now that that's changed, I guess we have a few more people on our side.
The outcome, at least, is favorable.
We should get going too. Let's head back, have a proper meal, and a nice, long sleep. We'll need all our energy tomorrow. Sino, we're leaving!
Stop yelling.
Raman, we're here.
Everything's been arranged. Someone will bring the village keepers back to Aru village shortly.
I guess all I can say now is...
Don't mention it. I think we can both agree you went to hell and back for it. But we share a common cause now.
Where are the perpetrators?
I'll bring you to them. Follow me.
So these are the people who kidnapped the village keepers.
Oh no, it's the scribe!
There's no need to yell. No one can help you now.
We've been all over the desert trying to find you!
That's right.
General Mahamatra? No, no! Make it quick, please! Swift and painless!
Whoa. The moment they set eyes on Sino, they turned pale like...
You should have known that I would be coming for you.
Wait, we were just following orders! You know what I'm talking about, right? There's no way we could have done all this by ourselves!
No, not Sino! He's gonna tear us limb from limb!
I could do worse.
Please have mercy!
Start talking. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to other methods.
So, your superiors have kept you quite busy recently. Why? What are they trying to accomplish?
They, wanted to extract canned knowledge.
Don't play dumb. They extract divine canned knowledge. Then what?
I really don't...
Well, you better start talking or you'll be...
You don't want to make things any more difficult for yourself, do ya?
Be my guest.
Uh-huh. That sure didn't sound like a fancy metaphor or anything. You're serious, aren't you?
How did you know?
There's no use hiding it now. Yes, you're right. The Academia is working on an important and potentially world-changing project. They are creating a new god. A god that will belong to them and to the people of Sumeru. It may seem as if Sumeru's academics are thriving, but ever since the death of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, scholarly breakthroughs have been few and far between. The withering of Irminsul has been getting worse recently. The sages have tried everything they could think of, but nothing's worked. I'm always hearing them say things like, if only Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was still with us.
Continue.
And then, someone from the Fatui showed up. They called him the Doctor. He brought a gnosis and said he wanted to borrow the Academia's research facilities. The Doctor was previously expelled from the Academia. At first, the sages looked down at him in disdain. But when he said those words, everyone's expression changed. He asked them, "Do you wish to create a god?"
This is what the arrogant ignorance at the extreme end of academia looks like.
First, the Academia spent a long time constructing a divine vessel, which was based on an exquisite humanoid puppet. After that, they harvested dreams via the Zeb-Zerus Festival Samsara, maximizing the Akasha's output. With the Doctor's help, and the Akasha now functioning at maximum efficiency, they were able to use it to extract the power from the Gnosis and convert it into a divine core. Next, they decided that their new god needed to possess divine wisdom. For that to happen, they needed a huge quantity of divine canned knowledge.
It adds up.
But how do you determine whether the knowledge extracted is of divine origin?
Call it an educated guess? The Academia has been trying to figure out the exact source of the Scholar's madness for centuries, but to no avail. Nobody can explain the cause of this phenomenon. Surely you can see what that implies, Scribe Al-Haytham. If it's knowledge no mortal can comprehend, then it must be something only gods are able to decipher. In other words, it's the source of the God of Wisdom's omniscience and omnipotence.
You must have noticed by now. The Academia doesn't care about who their god is. It's the ability to exercise control over knowledge and wisdom that matters. It is as if they are cursed with a desire for omniscience and omnipotence that burns in their blood. Some organisms demonstrate phototaxis, and thus orient their entire lives in respect to sources of light. For the sages, their only source of hope is the existence of a deity who embodies the acme of wisdom. This is but a form of phototaxis. For many scholars, the absence of a god of wisdom means stumbling in the darkness for the duration of their lives.
Then what does Lesser Lord Kusanali mean to you? Is she not a true god present in this world? If you already have a new god, why try to create another one?
From the beginning, the Academia has never treated her as a god. When the Academia first discovered Lesser Lord Kusanali, the newborn god of wisdom, the sages hoped that she would be as wise as Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. But upon evaluation, they found that at the time she possessed no more intelligence than any ordinary human child. The sages never had a ruder awakening. This forced them to accept that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata had indeed passed away. Not to mention that Lesser Lord Kusanali's gnosis had been used to power the Akasha this entire time. By herself, she has neither an Archon's raw power, nor the spectacular insight expected of a god of wisdom. Slowly but surely, people began to forget about her existence.
So, this is the path the sages have chosen.
All right, let's try to keep our cool. If everyone's in a bad mood, then let's change up our scenery. Rahman, give me a few men to help us escort the village keepers back to the village. And these two scholars, they're coming too.
Sure, as you wish.
You're finally done.
I have some other stuff to take care of. Catch you all later.
Come on, don't give me that face. I know what you're going to say. I'll be careful.
That's what I wanted to hear. Well, Traveler, Paimon, judging from your expressions, the meeting must have been quite productive.
You can tell?
I'm not that good at scheming or strategy, but I can sense people's emotions. And based on your reaction, things must have gone quite well.
Paimon's a little worried.
To be honest, I feel the same. But you're already some of the most capable people I know. So you have my trust.
Candace...
Your deeds speak for themselves.
Candace, we stayed behind to tell you that, although you won't be coming with us, we'll be sure to remember your words.
I'm very glad to hear that. I've said the same thing to everyone here today as I said to you when you arrived. Your safety is the most important thing. Only when you're safe can the plan be successful. So please, take care. You're welcome. And thank you for taking my advice. Good luck with everything. I'll be here in the village praying for you.
Sounds good. I'll go make some preparations.
Okay.
I'll hate them!
Have you finished saying your goodbyes?
Yeah! Also, Candace...
Yes, she did. But I think my point also bears repeating. Our plan is not child's play. We won't be able to achieve anything if we're simply careful. We must go beyond that and fully commit ourselves to it. I hope this is clear to you.
Huh? Shouldn't you be saying something more cheerful to...
Didn't we already do that during the meeting?
You can never have enough words of encouragement.
In that case, Candace can cuddle you to your heart's content while I continue to remind you of the seriousness of our situation. We all have our jobs to do, after all. It's like how some people can be put in charge of logistics while others will fight on the front lines.
Speaking of the front lines, you don't look anything like a soldier.
Of course. Compared to the mercenaries, I'm merely a feeble scholar. But the advantage of not being a mercenary is that I get to stay in a safer place and offer my strategic insight. Just think about that mercenary who lost his mind. Mercenary groups are facing constant danger every single day.
Well, being a scholar is also a high-risk occupation, and you are a scholar.
I'm not like the rest of them. Even among members of the same species, some will exhibit far more potential than others.
This guy. Paimon still remembers when those mercenaries in Port Ormos called you a lunatic.
All intellectuals are lunatics in the eyes of fools. I'll take that as a compliment. Do you remember the record we saw in the King Deshret ruins? It mentioned forbidden knowledge. You have a good memory. Forbidden knowledge has the power to drive people insane, but this fact has never been shared with the public. Even I, who has worked in the academia for some time, was never once informed of this. I think those mad scholars and mercenaries we encountered may have all fallen victim to the corrupting qualities of forbidden knowledge. But the academia has always held a different view. They have always believed that symptoms of madness are a side effect of human contact with divine knowledge as mere mortals. Come to think of it, perhaps the academia has also never understood the true nature of forbidden knowledge, and thus always approached the issue from the wrong direction. The Withering, Elazar, and the sandstorms. Don't you think what is happening right now across Sumeru is rather similar to the forbidden knowledge pollution that occurred in the desert thousands of years ago?
But Paimon thought that Irminsul's disease is what caused the withering in the sandstorms. At least, that's what Tainari told us. Wait a second. Could it be that?
Ah, you've connected the dots. The cause of Irminsul's illness may precisely be the pollution from forbidden knowledge.
But if that's the case, what should we do? This is huge!
Wait. Why do you think Lesser Lord Kusanali would have a solution to this situation?
You mean, it's related to the scene you saw when you passed out in the Avidia forest? That whole, the world forget me thing?
In that case, it's imperative that we rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali. Only by working with her to save Irminsul can we completely resolve the problems Sumeru currently faces. To make sure we're still on track, I would like to check on the state of some of our preparatory work.
Where are we going?
To an Eremite base.
I thought we agreed on a plan. How can you go back on your word?
The plan is too radical and carries a high risk for casualties. I've given it a lot of thought. And in the end, I still can't agree to it.
But it's still the best plan we have. As a former Matra, you of all people should be able to see the bigger picture and recognize the innate advantages of our plan.
I did. And that's how I saw the danger behind these so-called advantages. Alhaitham's plan is even more radical than I imagined.
Huh? Why are you guys arguing?
My friend, you're just in time. Why don't you help me persuade Sino? He's turned against our plan.
We agreed to work out a plan at the meeting. As mercenaries, you're familiar with the local environment, so you'll take care of the specifics. But then, you went to Alhaitham for suggestions. Had I known Alhaitham would give you those kinds of suggestions, I would not have agreed to the plan.
Look, you already know that we're all on the same side here, don't you?
Mercenaries place a lot of importance on their bonds of friendship, but also will not hesitate to make sacrifices if they deem the situation to be sufficiently dire. I'm sorry, but as things stand, I can't accept your principles.
Seems you really do understand the ways of the desert.
Traveler, Paimon, this is also something you should know. Rahman's plan is to have me work with the Caravan Reebok guards in my capacity as a Matra. We will arrest the mercenaries and escort them into Sumeru City.
Wait, how can we work with the guards?
We can't get through that wall easily, remember? Caravan Reebok would never let so many unregistered members of the Eremites enter Sumeru City. My plan will clear us of any possible suspicion, and also let us enter the city as a big group. There is no better way.
That also sounds like something Al-Haytham told you.
Doesn't Al-Haytham know how dangerous this plan is?
Of course he does. He told me, there is no perfect plan, but this can get the job done. He also said that with the help of Sino and the Traveler, our chance of success would increase significantly. I never blindly trust anyone, and I've always had a good eye for people. I think he made a number of valid points. It's my own choice to trust you.
If I make the arrests alone, I can control myself and prevent you from getting hurt. But I can't guarantee that kind of discipline from the guards. To make the whole thing more convincing, you'll need to resist to some degree. Casualties are inevitable once push comes to shove. I'm okay with the deaths of enemies. But now that we're allies, I'm against the meaningless loss of our own.
I can't believe a Matra would actually care about us. I've lived a hard life, and I can say that people like you are hard to come by.
I've always treated my allies with honesty and respect. They have the right to know important things like this.
Now you're making this hard for me.
Hey, is there something we can do to help?
I knew you would say that.
We can help fight some of the mercenaries, which should reduce the number of times you'll have to struggle directly with the guards. That should help at least a little bit.
Sino, on behalf of my people, I thank you for your kindness. But this is a mission we cannot turn our backs on. We strongly value the lives of our friends, but the goal we are about to achieve is even more important. We have no fear of casualties, because we crave the spoils of victory. So please, lend us your support. We will show you the determination of us desert dwellers.
Well, now that you've put it that way, I can no longer refuse. But remember, you need to follow the plan and not do anything reckless. Candace made it very clear that we can only achieve our goals if we can ensure our safety. Since you and I both recognize the significance of this operation, there should be no more animosity between the followers of the Dendro Archon and those of King Deshret. Everyone's life is equally important.
Okay, you have a deal. Let's do this for our shared dream.
This place will do. We can hide here while we keep an eye on the boat.
Uh-oh. He saw us.
Huh? Is he waving at us?
It's time to say goodbye.
Wait, is he the only person on the boat?
You mean there's nobody with him?
And where are all the soldiers we saw in the port just now?
They were all here just a few minutes ago, but now they vanished.
So this was a trap. Wait, don't tell me that.
Luckily, there is still some time left for me to take care of everything before I leave.
Oh no. They might be after Hypatia. Let's get back to Party's DI.
Huh? What do you mean?
I'm afraid that she's seen something that she wasn't supposed to see. If I were the Fatui, I would also try to take her away. And if I couldn't...
Oh no! Are you saying they're going to kill her?
Let's go!
We're not getting anywhere. Traveler, Paimon, please go to Hypatia. We need to make sure they don't try to sneak around and attack from behind.
Got it! Hypatia's still here. Doesn't look like anyone's broken in. Well, how is she? Oh, that's good.
So, you think this is over?
What? The Balladeer is here?
I've missed that look of abject horror. You've given me that look every time we meet.
But, where is he?
I can hear all of your thoughts, you know. Don't you remember? I already saw you the first time you came to Parties DI and made contact with Hypatia. I didn't need to do anything. It is her honor to be able to connect her consciousness with me.
Who are you talking to? It can't be the Balladeer, right? That's impossible.
I know you must be curious. I might as well tell you that I decided to enter Hypatia's consciousness the moment I sensed your touch. I wanted to observe you on a fool's errand.
Hey, Traveler! What are you doing?
My deification is nearly complete. All that's left now are just some final details. Do you understand? Even if you manage to rescue Lesser Lord Kusanali, it will be impossible for you to defeat a bona fide god like me. Is it wise to force that childlike god into a divine battle against me? Scholars consider the god of wisdom to be the sum total of their faith. It's how they can justify reverence for a god as they construct it. But this also shows that humanity's worship of gods is a combination of blasphemy and exaltation. It's truly laughable. Yes. What is it? Yeah, I'm in a good mood, which is why I'm talking to you like this. What do you mean? Those words almost make you sound like a friend who actually cares. But you're wrong. I'm different from all of you. I was born to become a god. My entire life up until this point has just been a meaningless routine. Just think about a sheet of paper. By itself, it holds no meaning. The content recorded on it is what gives it value. All I had recorded down before were some painful memories and boring human feelings. Such senseless drivel should have been erased a long time ago. Indeed, to me, the sight of you fools in your futile struggles is far more amusing. Tell me, just what has this world done for you to protect it with such zest and conviction? I'm connected to your consciousness, so I can hear what you're thinking and sense the depth of your determination. This is a good conversation we're having. So here's a word of advice. Let go of your misguided guardian complex. You know nothing about the truth. It'll be for your own good, as well as everyone else's. Humans are a species that can only find bliss in ignorance. Ah, you've seen my affection for her. If you were in my position, I think you'd feel the same way. She peered into my consciousness and saw my past. Someone like that is qualified to become my first follower. All gods need followers. So Hypatia has been chosen. Her appearance heralds my imminent arrival at the throne of divinity, while her worship shall become my glory. You're doubting me again? No matter. Soon, you'll know what kind of authority you're challenging. Who wants to hurt my devout follower? The doctor wants to hurt my first follower? How very amusing. Has anyone ever told you that you're not good at sowing discord? The doctor has never known his place. Even now, the puny human thinks himself capable of interfering in the business of the new god. You're still too naive if you think a few words will be enough to convince me to destroy the doctor. But I'm willing to give you a gift, just like my expression of affection towards Hypatia. It is an honor for you to be able to stand here and speak with me. As my listener, you will be rewarded. Both good things and bad things can be called gifts. After all, gods have never needed to be reasonable.
Ah! Paimon used thunder! That person Paimon couldn't see was the Balladeer? Oh, he sure chatted with you for a while. Where is the storm headed? That means anyone outside is in danger! Let's go! Tainari and Dia still must be fighting! What's this platform for?
It's a lift that Academia personnel use to access higher floors.
Are we gonna take it then? The Grand Sage's office is up there somewhere.
No, not right now. We can't guarantee that we won't run into the Grand Sage. Let's step back and observe for now.
You think the Grand Sage will exit from there? And after he does, we'd sneak past him? Oh, Paimon thinks that's really dangerous.
Who knows? However, if we can confirm Azar's current location, our operation will be much safer if we...
Allow me to offer you a hint. If you wish to know his location, look behind you.
You're... What's Grand Sage Azar doing here?
Do not tell me you believed the Academia would not grow suspicious of you after such a prolonged absence, scribe. An eyewitness had informed me of your whereabouts, so I came to personally welcome you.
Grand Sage, I didn't expect you to care so much about me. I'm truly flattered.
I'm sure, but compared to you, I am far more interested in these two unexpected guests. You are the Traveler and Paimon, correct? It's a pity that only now have I been afforded the opportunity to formally meet two of Sumeru's most esteemed guests. I do apologize for my lack of decorum. Excellent. You immediately initiated discussion instead of attempting to prepare some perfunctory excuse. You clearly understand the situation at hand, and have no intention of making a reckless stand. The foot traffic here renders this place unsuitable for discussion. Please, follow me to my office.
This place is crawling with guards. There's no way out for us.
All right then, traveler. What did you wish to discuss with me? Today is Niagarbaha Day, so I still have many responsibilities to attend to. There is little time for idle chit-chat before I detain you all. You seem to know quite a bit about our endeavors. If that is so, then you should be praising our great work, rather than using your trivial misgivings in a futile attempt to sway me.
Trivial?
Then tell me, what do the Fatui want from me? Worthless. Those are all completely worthless. Benefits, divine power. These materialistic words do nothing but debase our great work. Creating a god. Yes, we are using human wisdom to create a god. If humanity cannot attain omniscience and omnipotence, then we shall create a god to reveal them. This is the pinnacle of human wisdom. We shall regain a god's guidance at long last. No longer will we flounder in the interminable void of consciousness and knowledge. Even Irminsul will be freed from its plight. For our nation of scholars, this is the ultimate aspiration. No cost is too great to realize it. You will never understand the rapture of having a god be born within your very hands. With your degree of knowledge, you cannot even comprehend such an emotion. Gods exist on a plane that far eclipses humanity's. Lesser Lord Kusanali, what can she even do? Care for the people? Fend off sandstorms? Fabricate silly fairy tales? These are but child's play for the academia. Does that make us equal to the gods? We are a people favored by Greater Lord Rukadevata. Though I may have personally not seen it, our forefathers bore witness to true wisdom. The ascension of the Lesser Lord has brought nothing but bewilderment to the scholars. They all ask, is that truly what true wisdom is supposed to look like? With that in mind, it is better to keep her isolated in the sanctuary of Suristhana, so our academy will not become embroiled in turmoil.
Justification. Do you really think that only the super smart or powerful should be able to call themselves gods?
As per your judgment, Grand Sage, they are indeed dangerous individuals. Not only are they acting against the academia, but their ideologies have the potential to lead scholars astray. Looks like there really was merit in my assignment.
Oh, Hatham? Are you talking about us?
Anyway, I've brought them to the academia as ordered. But it took some time and trouble. Oh, that reminds me. Here's the investigation report you had requested. It's a summary of my time spent with the Traveler, an array of information about him ready for your perusal.
Oh, Hatham! So you're still on the Academia side! We finally started to trust you!
Excellent. Detailed contents with no errors. I would expect nothing less than an immaculate report from the scribe. As it is Niagarbaha Day, I'll enter the information on you into the Akasha. Surely you know what that means.
We'll be monitored, just like Sino.
With the Akasha's calculation prowess, all of your actions will be predicted with an accuracy of at least 98%. Furthermore, your data will be updated in real time whenever new information presents itself. To put it into words you can understand, wherever you go, you will be walking under an invisible leash. This is Sumeru's greatest penalty for dishonest persons. Are you not familiar with the concept that great responsibility begets an equally great suspicion? In any case, you are Sumeru's most concerning external variable. Locking you down will greatly decrease the chance of any undesirable outcomes coming to pass.
You're despicable!
Despicable? Perhaps from your perspective, but I suppose you had mentally prepared yourselves for this, no? Your ploy was to sacrifice the Traveler here, was it not?
Lord Azar, I know what you're trying to say, but I've been following your plan this entire time. Why are you doubting me at this juncture?
Must I delineate your entire plan? Very well, I will spell things out. First off, I received an eyewitness report that you were spotted with the Traveler at Caravan Ribat. However, you immediately departed for the desert and escaped surveillance range. Judging by the time, you all likely encountered the truant General Mahamatra in the desert. Am I correct?
Maybe Paimon shouldn't have mentioned Sino just now.
The Academia had not received correspondence from its scribe for a prolonged time. You were also in the company of the Traveler, a close associate of Lesser Lord Kusanali and General Mahamatra Sino, who had defected from the Academia. With their instigation, what was the probability that you would betray the Academia? Rationally speaking, 50%?
Regardless, that's only a guess. The facts are that I've brought the Traveler right before you, and I gave you my report.
Indeed, your boldness deserves praise. To think that despite status as an outlander, the Traveler is still willing to sacrifice for the sake of your plan. If I'm correct, you have a contingency plan to save Lesser Lord Kusanali and ruin our great work. Sneak into the Academia on Nia Garbaha Day, using Alhaitham's status as the scribe. For there is a good chance that an opportunity to save the Lesser Lord will arise. Should your intentions be discovered, Alhaitham will turn traitor and sacrifice the Traveler, thus proving his innocence. He can then stay inside the Academia and continue searching for a way to proceed forward. As for Sino, according to the Akasha's calculations, he will soon return to the Academia and confront me in person. I suppose this is also a part of your plan?
You'll see me as a traitor regardless of what I say. No, even if you impugn me, it would have little effect on you all.
You misunderstand. Losing our scribe would irreparably damage the Academia's regular operations and the development of Sumeru's future academic systems. However, under the current circumstances, even that is trivial compared to what we stand to gain from our great work.
You said that I betrayed the Academia, but you, Azar, you've betrayed all of Sumeru, betrayed its Archon.
So flight has turned to fight at long last. Guards! Well, what do we have here? So you stole that divine knowledge capsule?
Traitor! You traitor!
Even the most rational scholar will yearn for the power of a god in a moment of desperation. Aren't you doing the exact same thing as me, Alhaitham? Unfortunately for you, no god will lend you their power.
Azar!
He has gone completely insane. Take him to the Matra and exile him to Aru village. Then find someone to take these two to the confinement room. I'll deal with them later.
Grand Sage, we've finished all required preparations for Nyagarbha Day. We may begin to enter the capsules now.
Excellent. You may begin.
Paimon got a bit carried away there. How was Paimon's acting just now? Great, huh? Everything's going according to plan so far. We made it into confinement, and Alhaitham's probably done with his part too. We even managed to trick Grand Sage Azar. Alhaitham sure knows how to cook up a plan. What are we doing next? Paimon has trouble remembering things when she's worked up. Right. Paimon thinks it went something like this.
Apart from that, we still have yet another goal in the first stage of our operation, which is to send the Traveler to the confinement room.
What? Why do we want to get him locked up on purpose?
He's always been the person the sages are most afraid of, as well as the greatest obstacle to their successful implementation of their plan. They are very aware of the risk he poses to them. Once the Traveler is imprisoned, the sages will likely think that everything is under control. And with their guard down, the next phase of our plan will have a much higher chance of success.
I can already see the pompous looks on their faces.
Oh, that's a super tricky plan. But Paimon still thinks it's not really worth it.
That isn't the only reason, of course. He has a more important task once he's in confinement. According to the Academia scholars in Ramon's custody, Lesser Lord Kusanali has sealed off her consciousness in the Akasha ever since she was captured by the Doctor. That way, they can't pry any more information from her. Even if we break into the sanctuary of Suristhana, it will take time to awaken Lesser Lord Kusanali's consciousness. We need to do that in advance.
So our job is to wake up Nahida! Okay, totally worth getting thrown in jail for.
The confinement room is inside the Academia, close to the sanctuary of Suristhana. It's a completely enclosed space, and you won't be receiving any visitors. I'll work with Ramon's scholars to make some modifications to your Akasha terminal. Once you're in, get as close as you can to Lesser Lord Kusanali and try to connect to her consciousness. However, as for whether she'll actually wake up, that will depend on our luck.
You've been wearing your Akasha terminal today. It's the one that Alhaitham modified. Paimon thought they'd take our Akasha terminals when they locked us up in here. Were they being careless? Alright, so what now? Sounds easy enough. We can finally talk with Nahida after all this time! Let's do it!